Biden went on to say over the phone he's not going anywhere and that he'll join her on the campaign trail. But with Harris now holding the reins, who she'll pick as her running mate is a big question moving forward. We'll break it all down in the next 30 minutes.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Now, Biden's decision to drop out comes as a reset for the Trump-Vance campaign as well. During his solo campaign debut, Senator J.D. Vance began taking jabs at Harris. The GOP vice presidential nominee held two rallies in the last 24 hours, one in his Ohio hometown and another in Virginia. Vance's attacks aimed to tie Harris to the Biden administration's record on immigration and inflation.
Now, history will remember Joe Biden as not just a quitter, which he is, but one of the worst presidents in the United States of America.
Aides for the Trump campaign claim that they've been prepared for weeks to run against Harris instead of Biden. Vance will be stopping here in Minnesota this weekend for a fundraiser.
Today is the deadline if you're wanting to register to vote online ahead of the August primary in Minnesota. Now, you do have the option to register at your polling place on August 13th. You can find more information on the Secretary of State's website. In just a few hours, Minneapolis Elections and Voter Services will be testing the accuracy of the city's new voting equipment. This system will be used for the primary next month. They say the machines will be randomly selected to represent all of the offices and precincts.
We need to turn our attention to what's happening at MSP Airport this morning.
Yeah, just craziness. Even more flights are being canceled this morning after Friday's global IT outage. So Audrey Russo is live at a busy MSP where stranded travelers are once again at the airport, just trying to get home, Audrey.
Yeah, Jason, that's right. If you take a walk through Terminal 1, which is where Delta flies out of, you'll see a lot of this. A lot of legs sprawled out on the ground, a lot of people camped out on mats, sleeping, trying to find some quiet corners where they can simply just rest their travel-weary bones after day 5 of this travel mayhem at these airports. Now, we looked at the flight boards a short while ago. We counted an uptick in cancellations. We're now at about 17 canceled flights on these boards for MSP. Most of them are Delta, and that's pretty much in lockstep with what we're seeing across the entire country. I checked FlightAware about 3 minutes ago, and I could see there are now 1,000 canceled flights nationwide. The lion's share of them are Delta flights, which is a real problem for Delta hubs like MSP. This means there's a lot of people who are stranded trying to get back home, and a lot of people who are stranded elsewhere trying to get back to Minnesota. That's actually the case for our own Morgan Wolf. She went on a vacation. She's now stuck in Utah. She's been there since Sunday. She describes a nightmare scenario trying to get her bags back from her canceled flight. Morgan, if you're watching this, we're lighting a candle for you. We are hoping for your safe return. Tragically, this is the case for many Americans across the country. And Delta is trying to do their best. They tell us in a statement that they are working 24/7 to try to get their systems back online. They're offering meal vouchers, hotel vouchers, cold comfort for folks who now have to spend a lot more money than they had initially planned for whatever flight that they were on. Now, why is Delta uniquely affected here, and what can you do to make sure that your travel plans are protected if you have a flight with Delta later on this week? Well, I'll have a little bit more on that coming up at 5:30, but 6:30, I should say. But for now, Jason, Alicia, I'll send things back to you. You really kind of lose sense of time when you're out here in the airport seeing so many people stranded.
Yes, the airport exists in a place outside of time and space. So I just hope all those people get home eventually. Audrey, thank you. And developing this morning, outrage is growing in Blaine after police say 2 daycare workers were caught on camera hurting infants. Here's what we know about the investigation.
Families in Blaine are demanding answers tonight after police arrested 2 daycare employees in a child abuse investigation. Blaine police say this all started with a call from Children's Minnesota last week when staff told them about a 5-month-old with unexplained bruising. That led police to Small World Daycare Center, and after reviewing surveillance video, they say a total of at least 3 infants were harmed. Police have arrested employees Elizabeth Weimerslage and Chloe Johnson and charged them with numerous felonies and gross misdemeanors. Daycare management says both employees have been fired and that management is cooperating with police to change policies.
Well, less than 12 hours from now, the Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara is hosting another community barbecue. Members of the community will be able to meet officers and special units from Minneapolis and enjoy some food and games. This is all happening at Shiloh Temple on West Broadway starting at 5 p.m.
All right, 6:09 right now, or 1 in the afternoon. right? Am I doing the math right? 7 hours. Plus 7
109.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1:09 in the afternoon in Paris, France. Athletes from around the world will be arriving or are already in the City of Light. And this morning, Team USA's gymnastics team is already there and they're ready to go.
Guys, we didn't get this experience last Olympics, so we're like overly hyped. Overly hyped. How are you guys feeling? So excited! Jade, how are you feeling? Good!
You forget the last Olympics was Tokyo during the pandemic. Wild. Suni posted this video on her TikTok yesterday. It shows her and her teammates and Simone Biles on their way to the Olympic Village, checking out the beautiful city. Suni even gave a little tour of her and Jordan Child's room where she's showing off their closets and those infamous cardboard beds. Coming up here in just 7 minutes, we're